Hi, I'm Sarah Kraft. My husband is videoing me. This is super awkward, but I want to share a little tool with you all called the Locus of Control. This is kind of a modified version of something that I read in a book a long time ago called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's by Stephen Covey. This is the Locus of Control. So this is a tool that I have returned to with students and also personally when things are tough and tricky and you feel like you have no control over anything. This is a good way to get refocused on the things that you do have control over, and by doing so you actually gain a little bit of power in that process. So the first step is to get a piece of paper like this, and you want to make a circle on your paper. So I'm just going to use this bowl. So here's my circle. So I love markers, so I'm going to incorporate markers into mine. So I'm going to start with the middle of the circle. And if you're following along, do this at home, right? Inside your circle, things I can control. And then I want you to take a minute and just think about some of those things that are inside the circle. So in times like this, you might feel like I don't have control over anything, but the truth is that you do have some control over some things. So some of the examples you might think about having control over are what time you go to bed, which directly impacts what time you wake up. You might have some control over where you study. I know some students are telling me they're having a hard time resisting the urge of studying in their beds, and how hard it is to be productive when you're all snuggled up in your bed. There's our daughter, she wants to come in. Something outside of my realm of control right now is how my children act when I'm working from home. So go ahead and brainstorm some other items of things that you can control. I did this earlier just so that we could kind of speed things up. Some of the things inside the circle, whether or not you attend your classes online. They're a different format. It may be hard to get used to the different format, but whether or not you attend and participate is up to you. Whether or not you ask for help. Hanover is providing so many extra supports right now, really trying to help students be successful. So it's really up to you to, make that contact with people on campus, because they're still here for you even though they're not here close. So your willingness to adapt, your attitude, whether or not you decide to talk to your friends or isolate yourself, that's up to you. You can't talk to your friends in person, but you can talk to them on Zoom. You can talk to them on your phones, and that can help you feel a little more connected with your people right now. So our next step is going to move into the outside of the circle. So that is going to be things outside of my control. So things outside of my control, the economy. Whether or not your internship is still going to happen this summer. You might be entering into a job market that looks a lot differently than it did even a few weeks ago. Whether or not you get COVID-19 or your family or friends do. So some other things that I was thinking of earlier as I was doing this, my professor's expectations. And I think it's really important to be, really generous with how you're perceiving your faculty right now, because they're all learning how to do classes online too. This is new for them too. So they don't exactly know what to expect from their students. And so that's a little bit outside of your control, but if you are communicating with your professors, you're going to have a greater likelihood that you'll be able to meet those expectations, even if they seem a little off at first. what other people think of me. That's something that is always outside of your control. So what we want to be thinking about now is the magic that happens when we begin to invest our energy into the inside of the circle. So the theory is that the more energy you invest inside the circle, the more your circle grows. And so you can kind of see that in this little peripheral area here. So, my grades, they're partially within my control. They're partially within your professor's expectations. But the more attention you give to these things on the inside of the circle, whether or not you're participating, whether or not you're communicating, those sorts of things are going to expand your ability to control your grades. So your health, the degree to which you socially distance, that's within your control. That's going to affect whether or not you or your loved ones are coming down with COVID-19. So, your finances are also sort of in this peripheral space. So you can choose how you're using your money right now. You don't have as much effect over the economy and the job market, but you can use your resources in the Levitt Career Center to help you, think of creative, innovative ways. Think of creative, innovative ways to still find something to do this summer that might not have been your plan A, but it's your reality now and it's your plan B, and you can make something great come of that plan B as well. The last one I want to talk about in this peripheral edge is my relationships. So, you feel like you're not able to see the people that you love right now. You're not able to give them a big hug sometimes, but you're still able to control whether or not you sustain those relationships in this weird time. So, using your energy to send them a card, let them know you're thinking about them, set up regular Zoom meetings as we've been doing with friends and family. So, you can help sustain those relationships even though things are unusual right now. So the takeaway is the more energy you put into the circle, the more your control and power grows. Conversely, the more energy you put into the outside of the circle, the more your circle of things that you control shrinks, because all of your energy has kind of dripped away as if in a leaking bucket. So thinking about what you can control, putting your energy and time in those areas now and even when we get back at school in the fall. So I hope you all are well. Take care.